Would you like to copy and paste my 3-step virtual annuity sales system? I've used this system to go from zero to over $50 million a year in annuity production issued, all completely virtual. And I want to give it to you. I want to break it down to you in the framework and give you the key aspects of it that I've been able to help others implement to experience incredible success and have their first $1 million months back to back. And it's 3 steps. And I discovered this 3-step virtual annuity sales system as a licensed producer myself in the trenches, figuring out how to convert the leads that we generated and optimizing this system. And I know it works because I haven't just used it myself, but I've helped many other agents. I help agents shift from being just a life agent to becoming a retirement income professional and closing more annuity premium, all completely virtual. And it's using these 3 Ps to create a compelling pull on your prospect and ultimately drive your profitability regardless of your lead source. You don't have to use our marketing. Certainly there's more integration and leverage with our marketing, but we find agents just adopt our virtual sales system that I'm going to break down in this training here, and they see incredible increase in not only their conversion rates, but their case sizes. And very simply, the 3 steps to closing more virtual, whether it's IUL or annuity, is these 3 Ps of problem, plan, present. And so let's start with the problem, right? Of course, you're going to, in this first step, it's on a phone call, typically just over the phone, where you're going to complete some of that fact find. Yes, you need to gather the data here to fill in these puzzle pieces, but more importantly, you need to uncover a problem that you can solve. And in so doing, you get them in pursuit of a solution. And when you do this right, when you uncover the problem and gather the facts at the same time, getting them in pursuit of the solution, you establish credibility while maintaining curiosity, right? You lead them forward. They're leaning forward. They need to show up to the next call to close the loop of that curiosity. And we accept as retirement income professionals that we don't sell insurance product, we sell income. So the problem that we must uncover is an income gap, right? If we're going to be selling income. Now we can uncover all the problems that we can solve, but this focuses how this framework and process can be applied, right? And so it sounds something like this. Hey, John, maybe you're talking to your neighbor in this visual here, right? Yeah. Have you ever ran the numbers and forecasted whether or not your current plan is taking you to the retirement you are expecting? Right? To which 95% of the time you're going to get an answer, no. No, I haven't. You see, now they're in pursuit of answers they don't have, not just information. They have this open loop of curiosity that they have to resolve, and therefore they're going to be so interested in showing up to the next step in your process, which is plan, where we're going to visualize the data and reflect the problem. This is where the magic happens, where we reflect their financial reality. Right? We create problem awareness and desire to solve. We generate this intrinsic desire, this motivation from within that pulls them towards their better future. We leverage facts, not opinions. We use these tool objective resources of math and mirrors. They're 2 things that don't lie. You see, if I were to ask you, maybe drop it in the comments before I even get to the next part of the video with the answer here, about 3 times 7, right? Do you know what that is? Do you think your clients, if you presented this equation to them, they would, right? It's 21. That's because math is a language that you and your prospect both speak. And so why not let it be the language of persuasion on your behalf that creates a pull on your prospects? You see, using math to reflect our clients' financial reality in retirement, you get what we call mathematical mirrors. And the best solution to create a mathematical mirror with your client is having a spreadsheet that you can put your client's data into and do their retirement math right in front of them, using the most reliable retirement planning principles, like, the average return rates of the market over the past 30 years, safe withdrawal rates, taxes, sequence of return risk, Social Security income calculations, right? And your clients understand math and know that spreadsheets, right, are used to do multiple calculations at once. So you don't have to convince them that they need your product. You can just show them that what they're currently doing is not taking them to the retirement they expect, which leads them to ask you to help get them back on track to the retirement income, right? And this concept is backed by, the Journal of Consumer Research and Experimental Psychology. The first discovery I found is that people are more likely to be persuaded by information that is presented in a logical and objective way. The second one is that data and math are objective forms of information that can be used to support a particular argument. So the lessons we take away from the combination of this research is that data and math are the most effective way to persuade others. You see, creating these mirror moments, these mathematical mirrors, right? It's where the math does the persuasion instead of you, because you clearly reflected their financial reality, where they are heading in retirement, revealing the need for them to do something different to get a better result for their retirement. This sets you up for the third step, which is to present the solution. And when you do that, use these three P's. It allows you to prioritize problem over product, which sets you up for a presentation to sell your product as the clear and relevant solution using stories, visuals, and data. And the reason why we combine these three too, it's all backed by the research of these prominent institutions. The first thing we discovered is that 65% of people are visual learners. So that's why we want to use visual. Brain processes images 60,000 times faster. It improves learning by 400%, 80% improvement in memory retention. So now that you understand the strategy and the research behind mathematical mirrors in this three-step process, let me talk about how we implement this three-step virtual sales system. We call them the 3 Ps to be profitable, right? And so that's problem, plan, present. The first one is the problem. And because it's on a phone call, we have to talk about what are you saying? What's the script? And we give this script away in our free community. It's a 9-step qualifying script, but it's only one piece of the puzzle, right? But if you want it, you can grab it, link in the description. If this is helping you so far, maybe join me by liking the video and inspire others to get engaged in this content, validate their time invested in it by telling what you learned so far in the comments below. But in that problem step, the script, the first piece is helping us is with the financial discovery. Sometimes people call this the fact find, but the thing is most agents stop here, and that's why the results are lackluster, if any at all. They just stop here because they get enough information to pitch products so they can do what we call that interrogation and illustration, which maybe gets some give up sales, right? Really small cases don't really help people. It's more about your interest than the best interest of your client. We're not here to do that. We need to go beyond the best interest standard, accept our fiduciary obligation, and realize that financial discovery is just a foundation that we start with, which leads us to developing problem awareness. And that's because everyone has a plan. They're doing something, but few people know whether or not what they're doing, their current plan, whatever they're doing, whether it's strategic or organized or not, it's something, right? It's a plan. No plan is planning to fail. And so everyone needs to know, will it take them to the retirement they expect and desire? And ultimately, the gap in not knowing is what we call that universal solution pursuit. It leads them to wanting and desiring and needing what we call an income forecast, where we can use our mathematical mirrors, right? The spreadsheet organized properly. And it exposes the problem, right? The first problem is I don't know where I'm going. And so we're going to use that problem to get them to show up to the next step in the call. This is the secret to not getting ghosted, to get your client in pursuit of a solution to a clearly identified problem. You don't know if what you're doing has you on track to head to the retirement destination you're expecting, wanting, needing, or desiring, right? It allows you to establish credibility by how you orchestrate this conversation following our framework while maintaining curiosity, right? It has them leaning into the next step and showing up to the next call. It's why people don't get ghosted when they follow this process and implement it effectively. And so it's these three components: financial discovery, problem awareness, and solution pursuit, that combine for a successful step one in the 3-step proven virtual sales process. And see, when you do this right, you gather the discovery and get them in pursuit. You can fill out the spreadsheet, build the profile with the minimum effective data so that you can be set up to begin the forecasting process on the next call, where you'll be on Zoom at that point and plan the problem with them. Right. And so that we've completed step number one. We got them in pursuit of a solution. The universal pursuit is that they don't know where they're heading, and we need to project given what their current plan is and see if there's any gaps to solve for. Right. Now we can move to the planning step. And so this is where we develop the problem. And here we answer, and there's a video on my channel about this, we answer the 2 golden questions. The first question is, what are we solving for? And the second question is, why are we solving for it? And that why piece, if you say it differently or say it in the language of your prospect, it's so that I can what? So that I can do what? So that I can have what? It's the so what test, right? When you get the answer to why do we need to solve for this problem. And in that conversation, you are going to get them to accept the problem and ultimately get them to desire. But the acceptance of the problem sounds like this. So if the problem was that they don't have enough income, if that's what the math reflected, right, the mathematical mirror in our forecasting session, if that's what we're solving for is I need more income. That's what we want to get them to articulate and accept. The why is so that I can retire with the lifestyle that I want. right? And that lifestyle that they want, right, could be the maintaining lifestyle they have, or maybe an increase. Maybe they saved aggressively so they can have an even better lifestyle in retirement than they had while they were working. Another example of the problem is I'm taking too much risk. What are they going to say to articulate the problem? I need to remove risk. Why? So that I can be sure that I won't outlive my income or ever run out of money in retirement. And see, ultimately articulating the what and the why, you are getting them to desire a solution. Imagine your client is building a puzzle, right? Right there, maybe I build puzzles on my dining room table because it can sit there while you build it across multiple days, right? And so imagine your client's building a puzzle at their table, and they're looking for this last piece to complete the corner of this picture, right? And you walk over to the table and you say, well, what are you looking for? What's it look like? Right. And you discover, well, what are you looking for? Oh, why do you need that? Oh, so I can complete the corner. And the discussion goes on. You get clear on what it looks like in your mind. And then you're with a different perspective in your own experience, looking at the pieces piled on the table, and you grab one, you say, is this it? And your client immediately grabs it out of your hand and said, that's it. That's the one I need. That's the missing piece. Can you give it to me? That's the circumstance that this 3-step process orchestrates. You get them psychologically in pursuit of something you need so that when you hold it up in front of their face, they say, that's it, I need it. And that's what we call creating the mirror moment. They see the reality that they're facing and know that you can help them make a change. When you do this right, credibility and curiosity, and they are asking you to solve their clearly defined problem. And the cool thing is the right tools, we implement something we call the forecaster that I developed selling this product completely virtual of myself, where it just shows them, hey, here's where you are right now. Here's your target and here's your deficit, right? You're making 210,000 right now, but your income forecast in retirement is 85. That's a negative 59% reduction. Are you okay with that? Standing in front of the mirror? Right? Would be kind, be respectful, and see if they want to change. And sure, there's just an incredible intrinsic desire, if they're not okay with that, to move forward, which sets us up brilliantly for the step 3 in the process, where you get them asking for the solution. In most cases, we haven't even discussed the particular product yet. We've discussed concepts of how a solution would work to solve the problem that we've clearly identified and accepted and acknowledged, right? Because if there's no clear problem, there's nothing to present. There's nothing you can do to fix a presentation if you weren't presenting a clear solution to a clear problem, right? And this is us living out the sales professionals creed, right? And more specifically, the retirement income professionals creed. I take responsibility for uncovering fundamental income gaps that I can solve. I develop a mutual awareness of the problem so that my clients desire their annuity solution and urgently move towards it like the perfect puzzle piece they need to secure the best retirement possible. Right? When you live this out, it's just a sequence of success. 1, 2, 3. It sets you up for your 5-step presentation framework, right? When we're presenting an annuity as a solution to the clearly defined problem. In step number 1, we sync the data from the forecaster into our presentation in a virtual environment, and we reflect the reality, and we just remind them and revisit the fact that they don't want this to be the outcome of their retirement. We use their data and we reflect it back to them. And then we describe the problem and why this outcome is deficient, right? You're taking on too much risk and it could lead to retirement destruction. And so then we present the solution to the problem, right? On this income scenario, right? You need to have a principally protected account where you participate in a portion of the upside of the market with zero downside risk. You can be in that green account, taking money and watching your assets grow rather than just going up and down and riding the roller coaster and suffering a safe withdrawal rate, far less income than you may want or need for the retirement you've been expecting. Then we compare the solution and the numbers of the status quo. Hey, just keep doing what you're doing, make no change, to our strategy. We compare it to our strategy, our plan, an income plan, and the result that you would achieve with it. And then we close on the solution. We say, hey, listen, with this strategy, you would have 30% more income and 121% more assets over 20 years, which means a bigger estate for your kids through better risk management, yielding you a better retirement. We make sure that they understand why this is possible, why it's not too good to be true, and who the company that we're going to trust to do it, why we chose them, and how it actually works, right? And this is the 5-step presentation framework that leads us to a close and ultimately gets that change when we combine visual storytelling data, change from where they are, the status quo, to what they need to be in a better position to have the retirement they're expecting, which is implementing your solution, changing their assets from that account to this account, right? And those are the 3 steps to the process, right? And when you implement them, you too can have success, right? That is when you be a retirement income professional, you can do and make the offer through our 3-step virtual sales system, right? The question that you have to answer for yourself right now, if you are having some success, often face to face, maybe through radio or seminar, is your process proven to close virtually? So often do we work with clients, right? And because of the relationship and the that they have, rapport they have with people through these other marketing channels, they don't really have a systematic process. They certainly aren't focusing on problem over product, and therefore they've never been able to get anywhere close to these types of results, all completely virtual. You see Seth here, right? Started from zero. Now he's having $1.6 million in 4 weeks. I think he's about to have his first $2.5 million month, all completely virtual. Here's just from 4 cases, right? We help people go from zero in virtual annuity production to having $1 million months by implementing this proven process that we use ourselves. You see, Seth's on my team, right? I helped him go from zero. And we can help you too if you follow our proven process. Do you have what it takes? Drop a like on this video if you want our help implementing this 3-step virtual annuity sales system and maybe even generating the marketing opportunity too as well. We can talk to you about it. There's a link in the description. You can book a call with my team and see what type of opportunity we would have to add $5 to $10 million in annuity production to your business, all completely virtual. If you're not ready to have that chat and you want to continue learning about how to grow your virtual annuity production, then I want to teach you about a vitally important concept to selling online, to closing more virtual. It's called tokens of trust, and it's the next video in this series linked here on the screen. Maybe I drop it in one of the comments below. Maybe you can drop a comment with what your biggest takeaway is, and certainly like the video so you can inspire other people to watch this as well. I'll see you in the next video in the series. Otherwise, hopefully on a future coaching call where we're driving your annuity production, not just Seth.